Sisterhood through sororities have been around since 1776. My first semester alone in adulthood at Kennesaw State University, I decided to join something bigger than myself. I joined a sisterhood called Alpha Omicron Pi. The first chapter of Alpha Omicron Pi begun in 1897 at Barnard College in New York City, organized by Stella George Stern Perry, Helen St. Clair Mullen, Elizabeth Haywood Wyman, and Jessie Wallace Hugan. The moment where I first felt the strong sense of sisterhood was our fall 2018 new member retreat. When I rushed Alpha Omicron Pi in the fall of 2018, I had chosen Alpha Omicron Pi as my last choice and was very unsure of what I wanted or even what I thought I wanted. I joined Alpha O on a feeling, and I had been very unsure since pinning day. On a sunny fall Friday, all the new members met up in the East Lawn at Kennesaw State University, and everybody looked very nervous and jittery. Not knowing what to look forward to or expect at the new member retreat, a fellow new member, Abby, and I had planned on riding together to the mystical camp in the woods that would soon bring us all together as sisters. We arrived at the camp around 5 o'clock, and the sun was still beating down on top of us. All the new members and I were scurrying to our group-assigned cabins, trying to claim a bunk before a bunk was taken. I personally was in the icy blue group, and my cabin was a room tucked away that looked like an orphanage in Annie. We had popcorn ceilings and very small, thin mattresses that were very uncomfortable. I arrived seconds too late and couldn't find a bunk, but good thing that I had my princess sleeping bag to protect me that my mother had sent up to college for me when I informed her about my new member retreat. I ended up finding a bunk right next to a girl named Maggie and above a girl named Lori, unknown that they would soon become some of my good friends in the near future. I started talking to Maggie, and turns out we both didn't want to be there. We went downstairs to the bathroom that had toilet paper and began to get ready. After all of the groups got ready, our whole entire new member chapter all met together in the common area to compete for different games. We did sisterhood competitions to see who would win the whole entire new member retreat, and turns out my group, Icy Blue, smoked everybody. We were best dressed, best at charades, and won literally everything. We were champions of the new member retreat. After all the competition, we all sat down and did a few bonding activities that were very heartfelt. We sat down and wrote notes to one another and even sisters that we didn't know, and we all said nice and kind things about each other to make everybody feel welcome. It made me feel brand new and made me feel secure, as I knew I was in something that was bigger than myself. After all the new members were done competing at the end of the night, we went back to our cabins and reflected on the time we had shared together. Maggie, Allie, Leslie, and I all sat in our cabin and talked till about 2 a.m. while our soon-to-be sisters walked in and joined us. At that moment, I knew I was home. The next morning, we were miserably tired and walked down from our Annie orphanage-type cabin and met with each other and all decided we didn't want to have breakfast together, but instead we wanted to go home and sleep in our own beds. So we all packed up and cleaned up. Although we were sleepy and hungry, we left with sisterhood in our hearts. I now know that Alpha O is a home for me and that every single one of my now sisters care immensely for me. Being in a sisterhood isn't paying for your friends or going out to parties every single weekend. It's having love and compassion for every one of your sisters and fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. Alpha Omicron Pi has showed me that I can find family that isn't just blood.